Hello everyone, I'm Molly. I'm hosting your daily debate today, and the topic is that should one be a night owl or should one be a early bird? Should one sleep early or should they stay awake late? So the opposition goes first. Sorry, proposition goes first. You all can begin.
Am I audible?
Do you, yeah. Do you need a self count or should I give you a count?
You can give me.
Okay. Starting in three, two, one.
Good evening to the judge and fellow mates. I am Mayank Shaw, the first speaker from the side supporting the view that it is better to be an early bird than to be a night owl. The proverb early bird catches the worm makes me to believe that those who rise early are often more productive and effective. They are at an advantageous position to those who start their day late. They have a momentum of early start. The following heads lead me to believe why I believe it is better to be an early bird. Number one, alignment with nature's cycle. Waking up in the dawn when and getting closer to nature through yoga, morning walk, or even strolling in the park when the pollution in air is relatively low and the positivity in the environment gives us the energy to be active throughout the day. This fresh start compels us to stay motivated all day long. According to CNBC, nearly two-thirds of successful CEOs say they wake up at 6 a.m. or earlier. It is just a matter of establishing routine. We get vitamin D from sunlight, which is the best only during first few hours of sunrise. Vitamin D deficiency is a prominent factor for myopia at an early age and getting high power glasses. Number two, quality sleep. In this era of back-breaking jobs, sleep is always compromised. Who doesn't want a peaceful sleep at night? Studies as per NIH shows when we wake up early, circadian rhythm gets adjusted. Hence, at night we tend to fall asleep faster and within reasonable hours. This ensures that we get proper 7 to 8 hours of sleep. We wake up fresh in the morning with a happy mind and body. Number three, less time in traffic. According to Hindustan Times, commuting in the rush hours to the office can be hectic due to multiple reasons. With more time wasted on transportation, we get drained out of energy by the time we reach the office, and also vice versa. When we come back home from the office, when we start early, we get to dodge the heavy traffic and can use the extra time for more productive purposes. The following points is quite explain that why I believe it is better to be an early bird than to be a night owl. Thank you.
Okay. Great speech, Mayank, but you have exceeded your time limit by 1 minute. So your speech was for 3 minutes in total. Never mind. Now the opposition goes ahead. Who's going
Yeah,
first?
I'll start my speech in the backward count of three, two, and one. Honorable Chair and my dear early bird opponents, good evening, or should I say good night, because this debate clearly belongs to us. First, let's get the definition straight, which the proposition completely failed to do. A night owl is simply someone whose bodily clock, yes, our biology, not our laziness, makes us more alert and productive at night. And productivity is not about uh, when you do something, it's about how well you do it. If waking up at 5 a.m. automatically made you successful, then every rooster would be a millionaire. Now, my first argument here is that creativity belongs to the night. Think about it. Shakespeare did not draft Hamlet after a 4 a.m. yoga session. J.K. Rowling did not dream up Harry Potter during a sunrise meditation. Most writers, artists, and even coders come alive when the world is quiet and the distractions fade. The ideas actually flow. A studies from Milan University even found that night owls scored higher on creativity tests. Early birds may get the worm, as spoken by the proposition, but night owls get the Wi-Fi pass for the sketchbook and the spark of genius. My second argument is that the modern world is built for us night owls. Remote work, global markets, online jobs. Life today doesn't just stop at sunset. While early birds are yawning after dinner, night owls are closing deals with New York, coding with California, and writing speeches like this one. Forbes even reports remote work has shot up by 159% since 2009. Proof that the old 9 to 5 rooster routine is going extinct. Early birds are still stuck in farm schedules. Night owls, we run the digital city. And now my opponents literally just said that early birds are healthier because they gain more exposure to sunlight. And their another point was that vitamin D can cause myopia. Lack of vitamin D can cause myopia. I'll start with the first point about sunlight. So, but are early birds actually healthier because of sunlight? Chronobiologists actually show that forcing night owls into 5 a.m. alarms actually increases stress, obesity, and depression. Health isn't about alarms, it's about aligning with your biology. For a night owl, sunrise yoga isn't healthy, it's cruel and it's an unusual punishment, and I can personally relate. And you mentioned a point about vitamin D causing myopia. While that was true due to lack of research, now after further research, it has been proven that vitamin D doesn't actually lead to like less chances of myopia. It's actually the natural bright light, not the sunlight. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me end with this. Early birds may get the worm. Wonderful, you get worms. But night owls, we create books, music, businesses, and breakthroughs. Productivity isn't about catching worms, it's about changing the world.
Great speech. Again, you also exceeded the time limit. Never mind. Good speech though. Um, now the proposition goes ahead. Who's the second speaker from the proposition?
I am.
Okay, so
I
do
am.
you want me to give
Yeah.
you a count or will you go ahead with the self count?
I'm saying I'll start in 3, 2, 1. Honorable Judge, let me address the points raised by my opponents one by one. First, they said that night owls are biologically better at night. That may be true for some individuals, and biology is not destiny. Numerous studies, including one by Harvard Medical School, shows that our circadian rhythm is naturally tuned to daylight. Night owls often end up forcing their bodies into schedules that fights against nature, which leads to fatigue, weaker immunity, and long-term health issues. Early birds, on the other hand, work with their biology, not against it. Second, my opponents claim that night owls are more creative, but creativity is not exclusive to midnight hours. Research from the University of Toronto found that early risers report higher levels of positivity, alertness, and proactive thinking, all essential for innovation. And let's not forget some of the world's greatest minds. Benjamin Franklin, Maya Angelou, and Tim Cook were and are early risers. Clearly, creativity flourishes just as strong as in the morning. Third, they argue that the modern world is made for night owls and that night owls run the digital world. With all due respect, that's exaggeration. The reality is, schools, businesses, governments, and even global markets operate during the day. The so called digital world may be 24/7, but most influential decisions, product launches, and innovations are still made in the morning. Night owls may code in the midnight, but early birds are the ones shaping policies, leading companies, and setting the agenda for society. So while my opponents glorify the night, the truth is clear. Early birds live in sync with nature, enjoy better health, and thrive in the real world structure. Night owls may shine briefly at night, but early birds shine all day. Thank you.
Okay. Great, Anika. Perfect timing. Now we'll have the opposition again. Who is going to go next? Pranjal, right? Okay. Pranjal, do you want me to give you a count or will you give yourself a self count?
So count of 3, 2, 1. Respected chair, I stand to support the idea that being a
Pranjal,
night
just
owl.
sorry to disturb you, like interrupt you, but I'm not able to hear you. Your voice is very low.
Can I just turn off my camera and do it?
Okay, sure, go ahead.
So now it would be better, right?
It is still very low. I can hear the others clearly. It's just your device.
I have checked the audio from my side.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Respected Chair, I stand to support the idea that being a night owl is better than being an early bird. Firstly, night offers silence, focus, and freedom from distractions. This makes it the perfect time for deep work and creativity. Many great thinkers, writers, and innovators found their best ideas in the quiet hours of the night. Secondly, the modern world has changed. We now live in a 24/7 global society with remote jobs, international business calls, and exams that keep up students awake late. Night owls adapt naturally to these demands, while early birds often struggle to keep up. Thirdly, productivity depends on quality, not the clock. A disciplined night owl who follows a routine can also be just as healthy as an early riser, but often performs better because they are working at their natural peak hours. Lastly, history proves the strength of night owls. From Winston Churchill to modern creators, night owls have shown that unconventional hours can still lead to extraordinary success. Therefore, being a night owl is not a weakness, but an advantage in today's world. Thank you.
Okay, you still have 40 seconds left. Um, we have the opposition next. Who's going next? Opposition? I guess it's Aryashri, right?
Yes, ma'am. Now the proposition.
Yeah, okay. So do you want me to give you a count or will you give yourself a self count?
I will give myself. Okay. Starting with three, two, one. So, ma'am, as my teammates have shown here, that clearly early birds and the benefits of being an early bird stretch beyond productivity, discipline, success. And talking about mental clarity and mental freshness, physical endurance, and everything, early birds excel at everything. And now, if we see at the clear picture, we can very clearly see that schools, banks, hospitals, everything that matters in an individual's life are open only at day hours, the hours which actually benefit the early bird, or which this our opposition always fails to reach early with. So, if we say that uh, early bird only catches the worm, I would say it would be an understatement, because I think it owns the whole field. Why not? Tell me, if we see at the bigger picture, digital techs, of course, they do rise. They do rise late at midnight. They do things that. But if you really see at the bigger picture and about the physical things that already do matter apart from digital things, and of course digital things can be also done in the office sitting, and software engineer has to attend the office. They cannot just go and sit and do it work from home things and remote all the time. And uh, talking about creativity, I think creativity unleashes not only in midnight. I think the creativity unleashes when you are mentally fresh and when you have a clearer picture of your surroundings. And I think night owls clearly lack such kind of exposure than early birds. And I would like to conclude my speech saying that um, maybe night owls maybe night owls are good at putting their place about creativity and whatever, but I don't think that this speech they are also implying that this is a neutral stance. They're mostly saying that it is all about taking your own biological circadian rhythm. It's all about following your own peak hours. If this would have been the topic, then I think we would be having a group discussion rather than a debate, because all they're implying is that we all should follow our own rhythm. Of course, we should, but this doesn't feel like a debate. This does feel like a neutral stance.
Great speech. Good, well done, both of the sides. Okay, we still have Krisha left, but the meeting is going to get over in a minute. So y'all can, I'll end this meeting and you can join again, the same link. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want a count or will you give yourself a self count?
I'll go with
Okay.
self count.
starting with the count of 3, 2, 1. Good evening. So, as noticed by one of my peers, everyone praises the early birds for catching the worm. But let's be honest, worms aren't the only prize in life. Night owls catch something far more valuable: ideas. It's science that shows that creativity and problem solving often peak at night, when the brain is freer to make unique connections. Add to that higher dopamine activity in the evening, fueling motivation and focus. And it's no wonder that so many artists, innovators, and entrepreneurs thrive after dark. And let's not forget, the modern world is global and 24 by 7. Early birds may align with outdated schedules, but night owls are the ones driving progress when others are asleep. Now, one of my opponents implied that being an early bird is better because schools, workplace, and businesses run on schedules. But let's be realistic, schools aren't the only thing people do, and society is not a 9 to 5 box anymore. We live in a global economy where businesses operate across different time zones. Remote work is common, and career in fields like technology, entertainment, healthcare, and design don't stop at sunset. In fact, some of the most vital jobs like doctors, security, nurses, and even customer support depend on people who function at night. So that little claim of yours that early birds fit society better ignores the fact that society itself has changed. The modern world needs night owls just as much, if not more, to keep running around the clock. Thank you.
Okay, you still had 20 seconds left. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Niyati.
In the rebuttal round, will the opposition be going first? Because that's usually how it works.
Yes, yes. The opposition will be going first. But what we'll do is, since we have two speakers from both opposition and proposition, opposition will go first, then the proposition, then opposition, then proposition. I hope that is the format which everyone knows. Okay. Do you need time or are you ready? You are ready? Okay. Are you going first, Niyati?
Yes.
Okay. So we will begin with the rebuttal round now.
It's
Niyati,
two
you can
minutes, I
go
guess,
ahead.
right?
What?
Yeah. I'll be starting.
Just a second.
Should I start?
Just a second. I'll just, yeah, 1 minute. Hmm.
Alright. I'll start my rebuttal speech in the backward count of 3, 2, and 1. Honorable Chair, my opponents keep chanting the words like natural cycle, biological rhythm, and positivity like some motivation WhatsApp forward. Let's break this down step by step because their entire case is not wisdom. It's weakness dressed up in cliches. First, nature cycle. If we were still slaves to nature, we'd still be hiding from tigers in caves. Nature gave us darkness at night, but we built electricity. We Nature gave us diseases, but we built medicine. Following nature blindly is not discipline, it's defeat. Humanity wins by bending nature, not bowing down to it. Secondly, they cry about the biological cycle as if one size fits all. Wrong. Chronobiology proves people peak at different hours, and here's what I want to clear a lie they're spreading. They say we are neutral because we said follow your rhythm. Chair, make no mistake, that is not neutrality, that is our stance. Our rhythm is night, our productivity is night, and our creativity is night. We aren't fence sitters, we're standing proudly in the dark because that is where innovation happens. Neutrality is their problem, hiding behind positivity without evidence and nature without logic. Now, positivity, please spare me from all of that. Ever seen a teenager like me or you dragged to class at 6 a.m.? They're not positive, they're hostages. Happiness comes from working at your peak, not from starting at sunrise and when you're too sleepy to even enjoy anything. They whine that being night owl is against nature. Planes are against nature, Wi-Fi is against nature, glasses are against nature. Should we cancel all of that too? If against nature is their best line, then by now logic, we'd all be barefoot living in a jungle in some cave right now. And their so-called big gun that banks and schools run in the day, really, is that your evidence? Judges, banks are collapsing left and right. Schools are still stuck in the 19th century, and the 9 to 5 grind is being killed off by remote work and global industries. Forbes shows that remote jobs jumped up to by 159% since 2019. I said the same exact thing in my main speech as well. The modern economy doesn't sleep, it runs 24/7, and those who thrive in that world are night owls. Early birds are fossils which are still worshipping alarm clocks. So here's the truth: their case is nostalgia, our case is reality. Early birds chase worms, night owls shape the world, and when history looks back, nobody will remember the worms. Thank you.
Niyati, I really love your speeches, but you need to work on your time management. Okay, great speech though. Um, Proposition. Who's going first? Who's going first from the proposition? Arichi, is it you?
Just a sec, ma'am. Uh, who else wants to go for the rebuttal? I have asked this multiple times. Nobody answered me.
I'm going.
You want to go first?
Yeah, it depends on you. I'm okay to go either way.
Okay, you might go.
You're going or I'm going?
You can go. You can go.
Okay. I'll begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Honorable judge, respected audience, and my opponents argue that the night is the best time to work and the night owls drive progress. Let's examine this carefully. First, they say night is the best time to work. For whom? The vast majority of people function better during daylight hours because our bodies follow the circadian rhythm, a natural cycle that aligns with the sun. Working late at night often disrupts sleep, weakens immunity, and lowers energy level. In contrast, early birds begin their day with higher alertness, fresher focus, and better concentration, which makes their work more efficient. Second, they mentioned that many creative thinkers did their best at night. True, some did, but many more great minds were early risers. Apple's Tim Cook starts his day at 3:45 a.m. Maya Angelou wrote her works early in the morning, and Benjamin Franklin famously lived by the motto, "Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise." Creativity is not the problem, is not the property of midnight. It thrives when the mind is well rested, which happens in the morning. Third, my opponent said that being a night owl is an advantage in today's world because jobs like doctors or security guards require night shifts. But these are exceptions, not the norm. The truth is, schools, offices, governments, and global markets operate during the day. Early birds naturally sync with this schedule, giving them an advantage in most walks of life. Finally, they claim night owls shape the world and drive progress. But let's be realistic. Progress is not about working late hours. Progress requires consistency, discipline, and sustained productivity. Studies published in the journal Emotion show that early birds are not only more proactive but also report higher productivity and better mental well being. An early bird doesn't just start the day early, they maximize it. In conclusion, night owls may shine in certain situations, but early birds constantly enjoy better health, stronger discipline, and greater productivity. Qualities that truly shape the world. Thank you.
Great rebuttal, Anika. Who is going next from the opposition?
I am going.
Okay.
So I'll start on the self count of 3, 2, 1. Respected chair, my worthy opponents have argued that early birds are more productive, have more advantages, avoid vitamin D deficiency, get better quality sleep, and remain in sync with nature. Let us look at these points. First, the claim that early birds are more productive. Productivity is not measured by the hour you wake up, but by the quality and effectiveness of your work. Night owls often thrive in late hours when the environment is calm, silent, and free from distractions. Students preparing for exams, writers finishing chapters, or professionals meeting deadlines all know that late night hours can be the most productive part of the day. Second, they talk about advantages of early rising. But in today's world, these advantages are not as strong as before. Our lives are no longer controlled only by sunrise and sunset. technology, electricity, and global connectivity have created a 24/7 lifestyle. Night owls adapt to this reality more easily, handling late night study, online meetings across time zones, and modern work schedules without difficulty. Third, they raise the issue of vitamin deficiency, but this is not because someone is a night owl. It depends on whether a person spends time outdoor during daylight. A night owl who sleeps late can still go out in the afternoon, while an early bird who can still lock themselves indoors all day. Sunlight is about daily habits, not sleep preferences. Fourth, the argument about quality sleep. Scientific studies clearly show that quality depends on consistency, not the clock. A night owl who maintains a fixed routine, for example, sleeping from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m., that one enjoys deep rest, just like an early bird sleeping from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. What truly damages sleep is irregular patterns, not the late hours. Lastly, they say early birds are in sync with nature. Well, that may have been true centuries ago. Modern life has changed. Our society runs not only on sunlight, but on electricity, technology, and global interaction. Today's worlds need flexibility, and night owls are naturally suited to this environment. They remain in sync, not just with the nature, but the demands of the present world. Therefore, while the points may sound appealing, they do not prove superiority. Night owls are equally capable of maintaining health, discipline, and productivity, and in a modern, fast changing world, they may even hold a greater advantage. Thank you.
Great speech, Pranjal, but you have also exceeded the time limit. Just make sure, see, if you exceed your time limit, you might get negative pointing in an actual debate. However, this is just for practice, so it's fine, but please work on your time. Who is going next from the proposition?
Me, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm starting with three, two, one. So let me first of all address the first rebuttal that I had from the opposition. It's about going against nature and excelling after going against nature and doing great things. Let me tell you, if we are talking really about the ancient times, we didn't really go against the nature. We actually went in accordance with the nature. We didn't really invent fire just because we had an idea about it. It was the nature that we actually extracted fire from. We didn't really knew about navigations just because we had an idea about it, just because we got enlightened from air. It's just because we studied the stars, we studied how they navigate us, and we actually took help of the nature rather than going against it. So this is my first aim. And going to all the pointers that we have been commonly discussing right now, first, it's all about, I mean, second, if we are talking about more creativity, it's more about, creativity is more about mental freshness. And what gives us mental freshness? I would say waking up early and having a clearer picture of how the day is going to be ahead. And second thing that I have noticed with these night owls is that they have a lot of health issues. Their health is heavily messed. I can see that their morning diet, especially their morning diet, is so messed up. I mean, they are waking up at 10 or 11 o'clock or maybe 12 o'clock, and then they're like, I don't want to eat. I'm just going to have my lunch and sleep. How does that work, man? If you are actually messing up with your morning diet, you are actually inviting gastric and acidity problems. They are going to be your biggest ally in your whole lifetime if you want to do this. And another thing, yeah, the infamous dark circles as well. Yes, yes, yes. I forgot about that. You guys really need to work on that, because I don't think any kind of dark circles or these kind of gastric problems really do cope up or really do justify your creativity. I think the health must come first. And third, calm environment. If you are really talking about calm environment, I think morning comes with the added bonuses of calm environment, and also we have great natural light. We also have better natural exposure than just having a calm environment. Calm environment can be achieved anywhere, even in night, even in day, in a quiet place, in a quiet room. This is not just going to be the only highlighter of your point. Thank you.
Okay. Um, Quite a controversial stance, Arishri. Okay, so all of y'all have had great speeches. Now you all can have an open discussion. Till then, I have a few pointers written, feedback pointers written for you. After that, after you all are done with your open rebuttals, I'll help you with, I'll give you all feedback. Yes, Mayank?
My rebuttal is remaining.
We discussed that we will have only 2 rebuttals per group.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So y'all can have an open rebuttal session now. Y'all can just go ahead and ask questions to each other. Yes, Niyati, go ahead.
Something like it's related to the debate and what Arishi said, but it's not like a rebuttal because she said so much stuff about health issues and stuff. But I am a night owl. My average bedtime is 3 a.m. and I'm perfectly fine. I don't have any dark spots or anything.
We'll
That's
go
just a
with that later.
stereotype.
We'll go with
That's a
that later.
stereotype.
That is why I said that it was a bit controversial.
Yes.
Yes,
And I have a POI for the other side as well. May I ask?
just a second. I'll just see what Arishri wants to go ahead with. Yes, Arishri.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, this is a thing happening with majority of the people, not going to be completely, in a commonality, but I think this is the majority of the problem with the people.
Okay.
So,
First we'll have a proper rebuttal round now, like an open rebuttal round. So if you all want, you can ask questions to each other. Go ahead.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, question to Niyati. If we really think that
Just a
during
second.
night hours we can
Just a second. Questions from the proposition to the opposition can be to anyone. Anyone from the opposition can answer. Okay, it's not directed questions.
okay now. Okay, if we really do think that night hours actually are good for working, so why is it that I think most of the workplaces keep their working hours, especially during the days? And why is it also that we are only given the examples of these flexible time hours, time zones? Because I think time zones on mostly differ from countries to country, and I don't think that people in a I think majority of the people do these intercontinental jobs. So how does this justify your point of this flexibility thing, modern flexibility?
Opposition, who's answering? Please go ahead.
I just had a clarification. Could you re-explain the second part of your question, the one after why do most workplaces like use daytime hours?
Yeah, I said that your argument was mostly that we, due to night hours, we can work beyond these time zones. So I'm saying that I don't think that time zones only occur from countries to country. They differ from countries to countries, right? So if we look at the bigger picture, I don't think most of the people work intercontinentally or internationally. So how does this work for a majority of the people?
Alright. I got your point. So your first part was alright. So first of all, thank you for your question. It's a great question. Workplaces are structured around the day not because mornings are superior or people who wake up on in the mornings are superior, but because society has built a schedule during the agricultural era when farming was dependent upon sunlight. That doesn't mean that it's the best or the only way, especially in the modern times. In fact, even with day jobs, night owls are thriving, which all three of us from the side opposition have very well proven in our speech, if I must say so myself. Many doctors, nurses, call center security staff, emergency workers, IT troubleshooters, and even media professionals work late nights and perform brilliantly. These aren't just flexible jobs, they're critical pillars of society. And here's the key: the model world is already shifting remote work, global markets, 24/7 industries, And night owls are not exceptions, we are the future. And daytime jobs, they reflect tradition, not necessarily efficiency. And your point about international jobs was that not everyone works international jobs. Yes, they don't. But here's the thing, night owls don't need international jobs to succeed. Even in purely local contexts, late hours are the engines of productivity. Restaurants, hospitals, transportation, entertainment, IT, police forces, emergency services, be it like hospitals or the 911 services, they all run deep into the night and they employ millions of people. So the so-called majority day jobs are not a law of biology. They are just outdated structures created centuries ago. And I have an evidence to back this up. Studies by the American Psychological Association show that night owls are just as capable but are forced into unnatural schedules. That is why productivity suffers. So the problem isn't night owls, it's the rigid system in which we are forced into to work during the day. So the real question is, should we keep punishing people for their natural rhythm just because the majority is stuck in tradition, or should we evolve to make sure that the full potential of each and every worker is involved?
Great answer. Does the opposition have any question for the proposition? Does opposition have any
Krishan,
question?
Pranjal, if you, I have a question, but Krishan, Pranjal, if you have any questions, please go ahead. If you don't, then I'm gonna ask.
You can go ahead, Niyati. I don't think they have any question.
Alright, so the core argument of side proposition was that being night owls is against the natural cycle, against the biological cycle, and all of that. So, by your logic, if being a night owl is against nature, then why does nature itself produce different chronotypes? And if against nature is wrong, should we also ban spectacles, plane, and surgery since all of them defy nature?
Who's answering from the proposition?
Guys, somebody wants to answer?
Can I go?
Sure, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Humans are a part of nature. Nature is overpowering. Melting of glaciers, global warming justify that going against nature, human will suffer. On one hand, you can say aeroplanes and rocket satellites are not completely against our nature, but more advancement will lead to suffering of nature, and including humans, animals, birds will suffer because of humans' cost. So I suppose that I believe that we should stick to the nature's clock and not going against nature because nature is overpowering.
Ma'am, I have a follow-up to that. Can I answer?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So as she mentioned that there are different creatures who have been assigned by the nature to stay nocturnal, but I think that unless you are a protector, or maybe you are assigned to protect the environment during the wee hours, you should not be awake. I mean, most of the animals who are awake are dogs who are meant to protect us, and maybe hyenas, all of those. They are almost, I guess, they are meant to protect us, and I think we don't really have this duty to go outside, roam outside during the night time and protect other animals. Do you don't, right? So I think that can be a justifiable answer to your question. And yeah, our core argument was not going against the nature. Our core argument was rather concentrating on your health rather than going against the nature. Your health matters first.
Can I add on that?
Go ahead.
Um, Now, some animals are designed but to be nocturnal. Humans, however, were designed to be awake during the day and asleep at night. We don't have night vision, we don't hunt in the dark, and we certainly don't have wings to fly around at midnight. So, that's the thing. Humans thrive at daylight, and that's a natural design.
Chair, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Uh, Yeah, go ahead, Niyati.
All right. So Arisha and Anika, both of your points were pretty similar. So I'm gonna go with Arisha first. Her point was that humans aren't supposed to stay out in the dark because we're not. Because the animals which are meant to stay in the dark are meant to protect us. So aren't humans also animals, and aren't we protecting each other? I mentioned in my previous answer about police forces, medical sources, and those 911 facilities and all of those. So isn't that also protection? And the you pulled up the classic humans can't see in the dark trick, Anika. But newsflash, night owls don't work in caves with torches. We have electricity. By that logic, humans also weren't designed to fly, but we invented airplanes. We weren't designed to survive winter, but we invented sweaters and we invented heaters. Progress isn't about surrendering to biology, it's about overcoming our limitations. And I said, please, if working in the dark destroyed vision, every student who studied past sunset, I'm pretty sure all of us have too, we would be blind by now. And in fact, research from Harvard shows that night owls don't have worse eyesight than early birds. The issue isn't biology, it's society clinging to outdated schedules. Thank you.
Okay, guys, great debate. I'm actually very excited to tell you all the scores now
Can I
because
can I add one thing at last, like if
okay,
that's
go
okay?
ahead, go ahead.
So if catching worms is the goal of every possible early riser, then who is building the worm farm when you're asleep?
Ma'am, can I have a answer to that?
Quick answer.
Ma'am, sorry. Oh, oh.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, when we imply to worm, we are not really implying to worms, I guess. If you have a sane mind, if the opposition does have a sane mind, we're not talking about worms, we're rather talking about constructing ideas and things that actually need to be done in the daylight, that things that actually matter to us, services that actually, yeah, police services do matter to us. But I think majority of the people, the things that we don't really notice, these are emergency services, I guess. So emergency services should be put in their own place first, and things that actually matter in a daily routine should be put in the better place first.
Okay. I cannot wait to give the feedback now. I need to. Okay. So, guys, great debate. I think the topic was very controversial, but not controversial at the same time. Very debatable, but the opposition won. It was like a very, very minute win, a very like small win, but the opposition won. Proposition, y'all just needed a little more things so that you would have won otherwise. I'll just a second.